for making Saint Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints?
And the Saints ball would have win 34-26. They scored 24-6 at halftime. I mean, in the second half, and did it. And you can see right here, they was like, they're going to let Cam stand up there. So Cam Jordan almost had another sack. He almost had it, and then he just threw. I mean, all kind of stuff going on the second play. Just calamity, stuff falling, people going crazy. I mean, it's just crazy work, man, how that last play happened. And then he tried to throw the pass, and then Stutzman drilled the potential catcher of the ball. But Cam Jordan almost had Cam Ward with his first sack. It'd have been fire if Cam Jordan would have got Cam Ward, got the sack on him. But anyway, Tyler Shough, 333 yards, 22 of 27. The Saints get another victory, fam. That's 4 straight games for the black and gold. They now improve. Man, how about the black and gold, man? They improved to 6-10. That is 4 straight games for the black and gold. 6-10. 1 game remaining. That's against the Atlanta Falcons, as Brother Jerry calls them. Big win for the Saints. I got to get Saints some love on that, man. That was big, man. That was huge. The Saints did. That was wonderful, man. That was huge. That was a huge, well, I ain't going to say a huge victory, but the way they played from behind to take the possession of the game, man, you gotta give some respect on that stuff, man. You got to give them some respect on that. That was a nice way to come back and get the victory against this team. So big ups to the Saints on that, man. That was wonderful, man. 4 straight wins for the Saints. 1 game remaining against Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. It don't matter. Whether we're home or away, the Saints are finding a way to win these games. The offense, inept in the first half, woke up in the second half, took possession of the game. The defense was already showing some stuff. They had the Chase Young sacks strip return for a touchdown. That was big. You had Charlie Smyth, who hit multiple 50-yard field goals. He missed one from 40-something, but hit multiple ones from 50 yards to line the Saints up. Then Tyler Shough, 22 of 27, 2 touchdowns, 333 yards, was huge. That was huge. Audric Estime gave balance in the second half of the game. 14 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, they were big. Chris Olave, another monster game. 8 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Chase Young, a sack. They gave him a sack and a half. So this just was beautiful, awesome. In the second half, the offense woke up and closed the door. So we had offense, defense, and special teams handling up the day, and they came from behind to beat Tennessee, who, like I said, ain't very big in their building. But anytime you beat a team in their building, it's still a big thing. A road win is very difficult to win on the road in the NFL, and the Saints are doing it. 4 straight victories for the Saints. Final game coming up next week against the Falcons in ATL. Let's finish out strong, man. That was big. Will says game balls. Coach Staley, Alante Taylor, Tyler Shough, Juwan Johnson, Olave, Audric Estime, and the O-line. That's big stepping on that one, Brother William Francis. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for a Saints win. Saints win 4 straight games. Another game to close out. Say, hey, man, listen, that's beautiful. Even though we're not playing for anything, fam, and like I said, we're going to bounce back. I'm going to be having, we're going to go to the presser. We'll have all this, fam, for all the family members. Listen, don't go anywhere. We'll have the post-game presser. Y'all know they're going to be about 12 people up there. You know, how many touchdowns we scored today? 5 touchdowns? I don't know how many. 2 touchdowns? Whatever the case is usually like this. You're going to get, last time we had we had about 9 or 10 people. You had Kellen Moore, Tyler Shough, Taysom Hill, Chase Young, it was a bunch of people up there. I mean, you had Charlie Smyth got up there. We had like 10 people at the press conference last time. This time around, let's go over and under on the press conference visit for the family members. Y'all put it in the chat. What's the over and under? We got to bet on how many people gonna speak at the press conference. I said we gonna have +5 at the press conference. That's easy work. You know they're gonna be just 5 people, but let's say it's gonna be about 8. It's gonna be about 7 people on the press conference. I say 7. What y'all got? T Mama said they're gonna be. We had 8 today, 10. All right, there you go. There you go, T Mama. All right, KB Flay says, Q, what's the rookie of the year race looking like? I may have been wrong about Tyler and happy about it. Hey, bro, listen, remember we talked about that during the stream, and I was like, hold on. When he took that shot, I'm like, hold on, the Saints going to come out. They're going to nail on the ball most certainly, right? When he took the shot, I'm like, hold on, they throwing the ball? That let me know that they're going for that rookie of the year. They're going for that rookie of the year. When he took that shot to Alontae Taylor, imagine if he would have caught that ball, fam. That was like a 40-yard or something like that pass. That was that was like 50-something, 45-something, 40+ yard pass. If he would have caught that, that would have put him up near 400 yards in the game. And the way to get there is going to be interesting because, rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, they do it for the NFC. And I think they got a wide receiver ahead of us for the rookie of the year honors in the NFC. But in terms of like Tyler Shough, the last 2 weeks, if I'm Kellen Moore and I picked this guy, and a lot of people didn't believe in this guy, and I believed in him, and he's showing up right now, I will most certainly go all out in terms of him passing over this game and the next game against the Falcons. Not only at the end it on a winning streak and finish out 7-10, but also just to blow out, to get him in conversation to be considered for the offensive rookie of the year. Because that's what if I was Kellen Moore and I got a little pettiness to me, that's what I'll be trying to do. And I think that's what they're doing, KB. That's what I think what they're doing, brother. All right, A-Camp, shout out to your brother. Say we clawed our way back. Indeed, bro. This nice win by the Saints. This was a gutty win. We came from behind, took the game. Fam, we took this game. We seized this game. They cut down Cam Ward. And I was like, fam, that's why they were running the ball with Pollard. Remember, they were running the ball with Pollard. And I was like, man, they're running it with Pollard because Cam ain't the same. The Saints put the adjustment together. And Cam Ward did not look the same way he looked in that first half. And that's the same effect the Saints do with Coach Staley. He made that adjustment. When he made that adjustment, I was like, yeah, man, that's what the hell I'm talking about. They made the adjustment. But anyway, fam, like I said, y'all stay right where y'all are. We're going to have this tuned in momentarily. But first, let's hit the halftime statistics. We'll get Pops Q chimed up here. As soon as he pop in, we'll let you know. But let's kind of go right into it. Y'all hit the like button for a Saints win, man. We won 4 straight games. That's big, man. That is big. All right. Anyway, let's get them thumbs up, fam. Let's hit this halftime stats right here. Brought to you by FanDuel, man. We up in this thing. All right. So anyway, here you go. The first downs. Did you take a look at what's going on with the first downs and all this kind of stuff? The Saints were 5 of 11 on third downs versus the Titans 5 of 15 on it. You can see the first downs. Titans won it 8-16. The total plays, they had 20 more plays than the Saints. These people had 20 more plays than the Saints. Didn't matter. 72 plays to 22 plays. 423 total yards for the Saints. Let me say that again. 423 offensive yards by the Saints versus 336. The drives were 12-11 Titans way. The yards per play, Saints went from a low amount to 8.1 yards per play. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy work, fam. They went from a minuscule amount to having 11 point, what was it? These people went from 8.1 yards per play versus 4.7 by the Titans, 320 to 228 Saints way. The Saints averaged 11 yards a pass. Tyler Shough, 11 yards per pass. That is beyond first down. That is a first down plus 1 yard. That is ridiculous. The man averaged 11 yards every time he threw the ball in this affair. 22 of 27. That is super efficient. And then, of course, Cam Ward's not. 21 of 40, 5.2 yards per play. It dropped significantly because of the defensive adjustments. You see, he was sacked 4 times. Remember, we couldn't get to him except for Chase. 3 sacks. He got almost picked off twice. Actually, 3 times. 2 of them by Alontae Taylor. He got picked off at the end of the game by Kool-Aid. He just couldn't get his feet in there. You know, so the interception, I said, man, the interception's coming. They're coming. And we almost had him. The rushing attack, 108 rushing yards by the Titans versus 103 total by the Saints off of 23 carries, 4.5 yards per rush for the Saints. Very respectful. The Saints didn't have a rushing attack. They had 17 yards at halftime. And look what Audric Estime and the rest of the Saints people did. They got over 103 for the game. The Saints were 2 for 2 in the red zone today, family. There are no more zombies. There are no more invisible a vampire teeth Yeti men. There are no zombie skeleton pirates in the red zone anymore. The Saints are not scared of the red zone anymore. It has become the green zone. Like I said, 2 for 2. Penalties, despite 6 penalties for 84 yards, the Saints still overcame. They still handled up. They still took care of business. They still did what they were supposed to do. Right? Possession, the Saints' time of possession, 28-19 to 31-41. Really right there. The defensive touchdown was Chase Young. The finish with a sack and a half and a touchdown for Chase Young that helped turn all of this around. And I'm so sorry about this. Why they got a toenail ad up there? I was trying to get rid of that thing. That looked nasty. Anyway, but this is the numbers. Tyler Shough, 22 of 27, 333 yards. Listen, fam, 12.3 yard average. The man averaged over 12 yards every time he threw the ball. You want to talk about efficiency on a road? That's crazy work. 22 of 27 for 333, 12.3 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns, and a rating of 142.7 is insane. Audric Estime, 4 carries for 94 yards. He averaged almost 7 yards a run on the Saints' banged up makeshift offensive line. Give him credit. 1 touchdown. Shough scrambled 4 for 6. It was all Audric Estime breaking tackles, twisting and turning. That was big by him. They needed a running attack to balance the second half offense, and Audric Estime gave it to him. Chris Olave, 8 out of 11 for 119 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 15 yards a catch, Chris Olave today. Juwan Johnson, he was perfect again. 4 catches off of 4 targets for 95 yards, averaged 24 yards a catch. Juwan Johnson had 1 catch in the first half. The second half, he woke up and went to work. Not work, but work. 3 catches for Pettis, 53 yards. Would have been a touchdown, but we're going to give him a little slack because he fumbled. Even though the Saints made mistakes, they fumbled the ball into the end zone. They missed out on it, but the bottom line is they still overcame it. The defense still came out, stopped them from doing anything with the turnover. It forced them to punt. The Saints offense got the ball, converted a touchdown, and took the game away from the Tennessee Titans. They weren't Titans today. They were pretty much 9 Titans. They were little peoples. All right, Kevin Austin Jr. also had a solid game. 4 catches off of 5 targets for 52 yards. Maliki Mutavo had 2 catches, and this is Mutavo's first catches of his professional career. A lot of reps for him. He was 2 for 2 for 10 yards, and Audric had 1 catch for 4. So the Saints had numerous people that did wonderful jobs. Expect to see Chase Young at the podium. Expect to see Audric Estime at the podium. Expect to see Alontae Taylor at the podium. Expect to see maybe Stutzman. I don't know. You're gonna see Kellen. You're gonna see Tyler Shough. You're gonna see Chris Olave. You might see Jawan Johnson. You know, you're gonna see some people at this podium because Alontae played. You're gonna see maybe you see Alontae. He had 9 tackles in the game, 7 of which was solos. He was around there. Kool-Aid did have a play. We was trying to strip the ball out, let the guy get a touchdown, but he finished strong. 6 tackles. Danny Stutzman had 6 tackles. DeMario had a half a sack with 6 tackles, and Chase Young had a sack and a half. Jonah Williams got a sack in the game as well. They finished with 4 sacks in the contest, right? Charlie Smyth, 2 of 3, 67%. He kicked multiple 50-yard field goals. He added 10 points to go along with a Saints win. So it was real magical. Love how the Saints operated, how they did their thing, man. It was special. It was cool. It was neat and all this kind of beautiful stuff. I just love how they played today, man. They played really well today, man. I'm telling you, it was awesome, man, watching it. It was fun commentating this game, too. Cam Ward finished 21 to 40, 251, 2 touchdowns, 4 sacks, 88.6 rating. Pollard was held to 18 carries for 85 yards. He had a decent game. It's just it wasn't enough. And a lot of their top people that they were looking for, they just did not. They disappeared in that second half. Family, I can't tell y'all how satisfying it was to watch the way the Saints close out the second half of this game. Remember, they were trailing, 20 to 10 at halftime. They were trailing 20 to 10 at halftime. And the Saints outscored the Titans. They turned and made, this is what we call adjustments, family. These people had what we called adjustments. They adjusted and scored 24 points to Titans 6 points. 24 to 6 in the second half to take the game 34 to 26. I mean, that's what you call adjustments. And they did it special teams wide. They did a defense until the offense woke up, and the offense didn't do a damn thing in the first half. But in the second half, multiple touchdowns, attacking downfield, the running attack got going. I can't say enough. And then you compound this with the fact that you had Dylan Reduce, you got Luke Fortner, you have Will Sherman, who's another backup. Because you're doing all of this with makeshift backup offensive linemen, and that's the point. The point is, regardless of whoever's in there, we're going to score. We are going to handle the damn business, and we're going to close out strong. That is the point. That is the point. Will, shout out to you, says Q. NFC South could see Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Atlanta all at 7 wins, 10 losses, with the Saints having the best division record at 4-2 next season, looking great. Indeed, bro. That would be crazy. I don't think, I haven't looked at the standings, right, to check out the scores on which games are going on right now. But I know that pretty much we've already been eliminated from it. But yeah, we're looking forward to next year being, no doubt about it. If you're the New Orleans Saints and you finish the way you finished this game, this season, like you're on a 4-game winning streak. I'm gonna have to look that up and see when the last time the Saints won 4 in a row. But when you got a rookie a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback, a lot of your people missing. You still have Jawan and Chris Olave, obviously, but Elvin Kamara are missing. We down to our 4th string running back. Audric Estime is a 4th string running back. We down to our 4th string. Elvin, Kendre, Devin Neal, Audric Estime is our 4th string running back. We're down to our 4th and 5th string running back and still producing. That's the point. That is good. Thank you. We'll appreciate you, man, for that. All right, we're going to bring in Pops Q, man, before we get to these things. We're going to be paying attention, family, to what's going on in terms of the Saints. When they get to the podium, it's going to be a long rip. We're going to have y'all put it in the chat. Y'all feelings on this win. Also, how many people you think will be will be interviewed at the podium? I say 7 people. I mean, I say 8. I agree with T-Mama. 8 people at the podium. I think it'll be 8. Hell, it might be 10 people. They might break the record. I don't know, but it's all good. All right, anyway. How you doing, man?
Well, son, I'll tell you what. it started out kind of bad, kind of slow. They were slow to get going, but then all of a sudden they just kind of caught fire. And Tyler is getting that football to the right people, And I mean, I'm just looking at this young man mature and grow in this role that he's playing. You see what I'm saying? He is playing. He's doing an excellent job with getting the football out and making making plays. And he held a piece. He came back from behind. They were behind, and he came back home. He came back and won the game, like he did against Carolina, like he did against Tampa. So I'm really impressed with this young man. I'm just looking forward to seeing him once he starts performing. As the new season come in, and he's got a good season under his belt. But this young man seemed to be a winner for us. And we haven't had a good quarterback since Breeze, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Pops, I agree, man. I think this is stellar, man, to see what Tyler Shough is doing, man. 300 yards today in an efficient manner, the way he did it. Of course, we had the issue with him holding on to the ball a little bit, but I think, that'll change. But Tyler Shough is doing a phenomenal job. Very efficient in this game, 22 of 27 for 333 yards. He averaged over 12 yards per attempt. That's crazy work.
Yep.
That's crazy work on so many levels. But I'm loving it because it's showing us that a bulb is going off right now. Obviously, bulbs are going off. Light bulbs are going off, period, because the fact that they're winning. They're on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
They're on a 4-game winning streak with an opportunity to close out the regular season with a 5-game winning streak and go 7-10. And take all of the momentum into next year for something to build on, to me, is special and then some. So, Pops, what if your game balls? Let's hand out some game balls. Offense, let's talk about that from an offense standpoint. Offensive, defensive, and special teams game balls. Who do you give your game ball to on this one?
I think it would have to give it to the offensive line, the guys who protected Tyler and allowed him to make the plays and get the plays out. And execute the play. Then to him, we give him a game ball for being so efficient at he didn't throw any interceptions. He knew he knows where to go with the football. And I think the game ball should be to that offensive line. I think they got to him once in the game, but he hopped back up and hung in there. He fought that freedom and he got us that win. Here's coach.
Enjoyable win, I think, as we've had this year, just from the standpoint of the first half going the way it did, not meeting the standard, having to navigate some stuff in there, and then the second half, just the way our guys responded and took all three phases. Complimentary football at its finest. All three phases contributed really, really well in that second half, and we had some big-time plays by some big-time players.
What are your adjustments you made at halftime to come out and be dominant?
Our guys just played well. I don't think half times you have some big, Newt Rockney speech or some new offense or defense. Guys start playing really, really, really well, and I thought handled the second half, at a really high level. Yeah, Tyler, just an awesome game. The composure, navigate some stuff early, big play after big play. He's obviously having a special season. I know, he doesn't start the season as a starter, but just the way he's handled himself through this whole journey, I think, really, really special. And I think, obviously the on the field speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, what moments like that where basically you got to get to a shootout? Like, what are you about in this approach?
Yeah. I think it's just resiliency, his ability to just handle each and every play. That's a really good quarterback on the other side. Cam's going to be a really good player in this league. I think what everyone just watched was two quarterbacks that are probably going to be big-time quarterbacks in our league for a really long time. And so, we're fortunate to have Tyler. I think Cam's going to do a great job here in Tennessee as they build this thing. And so, I thought it was a fun game.
What got you guys, the first half, Cam Ward was, deadly, kind of in and out of every fight. And you guys were really
again, I think just execution, rush plan, playing together, back end playing really clean. he's a really good player. So he's going to make some plays. You saw those show up in the game, just his extended plays. It's a really special attribute of his. He makes some big-time plays because of it. And so you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. He's going to make a play. You just got to keep on going.
It seemed like there was a lot of heavy personnel to kind of slow down the run. Was that maybe complicating the pass rush when he was able to extend and get the big guys out?
Well, they've ran the football really well the last few weeks. They got 2 really, really good running backs. Those 2 are really, really good players. And so it certainly was something we had to start with. We had to start with that run game, do our best, controlling that.
Would you like to make a case for Tyler winning Game of the Year? Or anyone else?
I think Tyler's just had an exceptional year. His composure, his growth, really, really special season. For him to navigate this and kind of, the momentum I think we're carrying as we've gone through this journey together is really, really special. I think we got an awesome team around him, building it the right way. And I think Tyler's doing some special stuff.
We've asked you a few times about him being kind of like an elevator of everyone around him. It's really up and down.
I thought he made some big-time plays, and so, start credit with him. I thought some other guys stepped up. Estime with 98 yards of total offense, making some plays in the run game, a pass game play. Kevin Austin getting a touchdown pass. He had some stuff, with the penalty and some of that stuff he had to fight through. I thought it was awesome on offense. Then on defense, we had some guys, Chase and Cam just kept rushing. DeMario's got, 6 tackles. He's at 137 now, career high at year 14. I know he wasn't in the Pro Bowl, but he's a Pro Bowl linebacker each and every year. And so, he's just a really special player. And so we had a bunch of guys make plays.
Was he doing something at the end of the game?
Yeah, he just had a little something come up. And so those other guys rolled the rest of the way.
Is that a challenge? Because obviously he's the mic. So who's dealing with
Yeah, just the communication had to kind of adjust there. We did bang a timeout just to settle everything down, make sure everyone was good to go. After one play, once we kind of made that transition.
And was it just because it was so late in the game, they didn't go in the injury tank? Or it was just going to be
Yeah. So
You know what he's doing.
just a little calf thing that came up. So
And what did you think of Estime? What got him going?
just the physicality of the run game. He's just a physical runner, and the play that he scores and has a big run. By no means is that the design and the intent of the play. We have some issues that we got to clean up, but his physicality showed up, and it was really special.
With Kevin Austin, with Kevin Austin too. What did you think of him?
Yeah, Kevin, I thought, made some plays. Obviously, a big-time catch in the red zone, really against not ideal leverage, crossed his face on the DB and wins on the outbreaker. And, I thought he made some plays. Dante made some plays, unfortunate fumble on that big-time play by him. And so, obviously, guys are going to have to step up, and they have.
You used the word resilience a lot.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a example of just things didn't go well through a lot of the game. It just kind of
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this game. I feel as happy about this one as all of them, just because of the standpoint of, not the standard met in the first half. Chase makes a big time play to score, but other than that, we're just we're not playing to our standard. And so everyone just kept going, and then felt like we're making plays as the game progressed.
Did Chase's play at all? Start something in you guys? I know you gave up pass interference right after, but still to have that play in that moment.
Those are big spark plays, special teams and defensive plays like that. When you score in those phases, it's big time. It gives you a chance. It gives us, it felt like it at least kept the game tangible and, within reach there just with that play.
Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Charlie did a really good job. There was some wind with this game, just kind of, some different elements that he had to navigate there. And so 2 really big kicks, long kicks. I thought Charlie had some good stuff in there. I don't think so, but there was some wind that obviously you had to navigate.
Chris.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we ain't on something. Oh, I got it.
Just keeps taking advantage of opportunities, and so done a nice job. Again, big time touchdown. We needed that to come out the second half. I thought he made a really big time play there. To have 8 catches, 119 yards, touchdown over. He's got 100 catches now in this year. He's made obviously some big time plays year round.
See, I know he was dealing with his back injury. How serious is that? Is that ever really a good question?
Yeah, obviously, hey, we're towards the tail end of this season, and these guys are battling, and that's the thing that I appreciate and respect out of these guys so much is all these guys are sore, they're tired, they've gone through a lot physically, and these weeks are, they have to put a lot of time in their bodies just to get them ready on Sundays, and so certainly Chris is going through that. A lot of our guys are going through that, and so for them to be ready to roll, credit to them.
You mentioned Cam Moore, but just what kind of goes through your mind when you see the opposing quarterback, spin it out of this way like that, or hold the ball for still be able to make kind of plays?
Yeah, there's special quarterbacks in this league that are going to make plays, and he's going to be one of them, in this league. And so, obviously everyone saw what he did at Miami and throughout his college career. He's a really, really good player. He's the first pick in the draft for a reason, and he's going to do a lot of positive things for this organization, building it up.
Grateful for replays there on that.
Yeah, replace this. Yeah, obviously we would have challenged it if we had to, based off the evidence we had. But obviously it worked in our favor.
I think he's caught 20 of his last 21 targets.
Yeah.
Have you seen him really kind of from a security perspective?
I think he's just doing an excellent job being friendly to the quarterback, finding the voids in the middle of the field. Couple off schedule plays today that he was able to make some plays, and he's made some extended plays after that. The catch and run, the ball security. He's just doing it the right way.
You're technically limited from the NFC South, but you'd only be a game back just where you guys were at the end of the season to be right where you are. Just what have you made of your guys'
Yeah, I think it comes down to people. We have a really special group. They do it the right way. They're so connected. These guys are battling at such a high level and competing for each other. And, I think it's really special. All good, guys? All right, thanks.
All right, shout out to Coach Kellen, man. Picking it up, getting it together, man. That's very, very positive, man. We'll see who's next up. Number 2, Audric Estime. Shout out to Audric.
Yeah.
What was supposed to happen, and what did you make? What went right for you to break through like that?
Yeah, it was really just the effort of everyone finishing their blocks and not giving up on the play. It wasn't the prettiest look, but we made it work. The offensive linemen were finished their plays. Their tight ends, Mo stepped up, made a good block, and it's my resilience just to keep on running and finding a crease and making something out of nothing.
Do you have a day like you had today after kind of what you went through this season? What is that?
It's really emotional for me, but this is just a represent of the person I am. The people in my life around me is just – when you're knocked down, you just got to get back up. And that's a representative of what this team been this whole year. We could have been the team that laid down, but we bring it every week. And we try to go 1-0 every week. And we play one game at a time, one play at a time. And I got an opportunity. And we, as this team, have an opportunity. We just try to get as best as possible out of it.
Even when you first got here, it took you kind of a minute. I know there were injuries and stuff, but for you to become kind of the lead back, what do you think you showed coaches that allowed you to kind of
Yeah, it's just really my consistency in practice. Just making sure that they know that I know what I'm doing. What's on third down, which has became a big factor in my game. You got to be able to protect the quarterback and just be able to grow every week. And that's what I pride myself in, is be able to grow every year, every week. And I feel like that's what I did. And kudos to the coaches, Coach Cullen and Coach JT, for trusting me and having me out there. Yeah, just second half adjustments. We came in this locker room and the coaches were riled up and everyone's riled up. We know that first half, that wasn't us. We weren't playing to our standard. And that's just what we did. We came out in the second half, played New Orleans Saints football, played to our standard, played physical. And it was really just a team effort. We came out, defense played their tails off. Chase made a great play going in the second half, but we just built off our momentum that we had and we just kept on rolling.
It's been kind of tough to get a gauge on, where they're running, the carries are going to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a hot hand.
I wouldn't be able to tell you that, but like you said, you never know. You don't know. I didn't know in this game if I was going to get 20 carries or if I was going to get 2 carries. It's just really stay ready whenever your time's called. You just got to be able to execute and do whatever they need you to do.
What does a riled up Kellen look like?
I wouldn't say it's more Kellen. It was more everyone else, like Coach Nas and the D coordinator. But he knew that we weren't playing our standard, and he expects the best out of us, and we expect the best out of ourselves.
What does a game like this show you about Tyler?
man, the past couple of games that he's a resilient guy, man. He's a guy that I want to play for. He's a guy that will make you run through a brick wall. Like, you can see him stand in the pocket, take those hits, and still pop up and deliver. And like, he's a great leader. Just like he's a rookie. I know he just started, 5 weeks ago, and just if you didn't know that, you would think he'd been the man and starter for the past 3 years. But he's just a great guy, and I'm just excited to see the trajectory of the team behind him.
Does it do anything for the team? You know, you guys basically got in a shootout, and you needed a response. Like, to knowing that you have Tyler, does that give you guys confidence, or did you sense confidence because you guys had him?
Yeah, for sure. Like, Tyler's a poised guy. Like, no matter what situation we're in, we know we can count on him to make a play. And this is the NFL. Like, every week it's going to be a dogfight. And we have the guys in this locker room that are prepared for that dogfight. And Tyler is the one who's leading us, especially on offense.
Yeah, you kind of just talked about it, but I mean, it just seems very steady for a young player and for an offense, especially after the fumble going into the end zone. You feel like you're going ahead, and then suddenly it's not there. Like, how helpful is that for just as a group with him just kind of being that steady?
Yeah, it's just like I said, playing one play at a time. Like, that play, it was a great play, but it didn't go our way. And just about how we respond to that, and we responded pretty well in that situation.
You were with Bo next last year too. It's kind of crazy,
right? Yeah, they're both older rookies too. But yeah, it's great. Be able to learn from Bo, to see how he handles his minutes on a daily basis, and then come to Tyler, and you see a lot of similarities between them.
Anything else for Audric?
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right, number 2, that's Audric Estime, man. Shout out to him. He get the game ball, played really well in this one, man, to be honest with you, man. He had the running attack balance in the second half, took pressure off of Tyler Shough, and the Saints offense flowed when it needed to do. Several tough runs, not to mention, fam, remember, he picked up a couple of blitzes to keep Tyler standing up tall, and there's Tyler right there. Shout out to the Shuckster. Here we go.
Do you have any flashbacks to the Miami game last year with the way the one was going?
Yeah, I was frustrated we didn't get to finish it on offense. So obviously you don't want to be on the sideline for that, but just a huge credit to our defense for holding it down all day. I feel like that's kind of been our thing. We're having fun. We're playing complimentary football. They did a great job of making the stops when we needed them. And we got to find ways to start faster and finish them.
Could you just kind of take us through the second half of how you approached it and what really got you guys cooking?
It was our same approach the whole game. We just had to be more dialed. We had key penalties on third and short. We had a couple close ones there that kind of stalled those drives out. That was really kind of the story of it. And we just got to be better. So we kind of at halftime, Coach Nuss, myself, all the guys, we were all firing up, just trying to light something. Like, keep doing what we're doing, but find that extra edge, find that extra inch where we can go out there and finish them. So credit to the O-line. They played their butts off against a really stout front, and all the guys that stepped up. We were kind of banged up, and it was a great team win.
You hear next man a lot that this team is really kind of delivering it. Like, what is it about this group that it doesn't seem to matter who's in there, whether it's Kevin or Dante?
Mm-hmm. I feel like we just don't care. Like, we go out there, like, we're here for a reason. We're going to go out there and operate. There's no, oh man, if we had this, or, oh, this is a good opponent, or, let's go out there and play football, man. This is why you do it. And that's kind of my message. Like, what a great opportunity, next man up. Now you get to go make plays. And everybody stepped up. Everybody did. Everybody did an incredible job. Audric, Dante, Kevin, Juwan and Chris, both making plays all over the field. So, and like I said, the O-line, they did a really good job with a lot of different looks in that front. So it was just kind of a lot of fun when we came together.
Touchdown to Chris, the same play that you almost hooked up on last week?
Yeah, it was a very similar play. And it actually wasn't necessarily like the perfect look. Just ran a really good route, corner latched on and found it. So he's got great feel. Obviously he's our dude.
Would you make a
Man, he's kind of sneaked up on us. I feel like he's been kind of that stout, really strong, kind of a power back, and he's making elusive plays all over the field. He's agile. He's really smart in pass pro. He stepped up on a short amount of time. Him and Evan, they've done a really good job. So, Audric kind of closed that game out for us, and just what an unbelievable performance by him. And I mean, trust those guys completely. So super proud of him.
How would you describe your poise in a situation like the one you guys found yourselves in?
For me, it's just execution. Like I said before, if I feel like I was prepared going into it, and it's just one more rep. So just operating it, and that's my mindset. So how can I make it one more rep, make it perfect, go from there.
I know you're reviewing like stuff on the sideline, talking with your coaches. So like I don't know how much you're actually watching when the Titans have an offense. But like, does anything go through your mind when Cam Ward is kind of spinning out, holding the ball and making plays? And like, do you feel like a need to, I don't know, like
Do the same thing?
Yeah, do the same or match the same?
No, I mean I think that he's really special at that, and I feel, I can do those things too. However, we were able to get a strip sack and a touchdown off of it, and I think that there's kind of a feast or famine sometimes, and that obviously made a lot of really good plays, and that's a credit to him because he's a really good player. But I think our defense did a really good job. It's kind of tough when you have those scramble opportunities and you're trying to cover for that long and plaster and get keep your rush line sound. So we knew that going into it. That was part of their game, and they did a really good job managing it.
You mentioned going into the week about how you kind of started to understand the value of how important negative plays are to a defense. Would you say that was kind of a factor in today with the defensive line having the impact what it was in this game?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We knew that they were gonna, they're a really good defensive front, and we can't just go backwards against those guys. The more opportunities that they have, they're going to take advantage of them, and I think we did a good job at that overall. I think we just had some penalties here and there that were costly, and a couple times where we got to be more dialed on certain routes, communication, stuff like that, to where we can shore that up. But yeah, credit to them. They're really good defense. So we'll kind of find those ways to make it all click together, and we'll finish this strong.
Do you guys express the confidence that they have in you, like when a game like this is unfolding, or do you sense the confidence that they have on you based on what you've proven over the past few games? And do you feel like that's growing at all?
For sure, I think it's all kind of growing. I think that's the fun part is we're growing together as a team. We're having fun we're having fun playing football with each other. We're having fun just operating, going through those adversity, those ebbs and flows of the game. And, I try and stay as steady as I can. And the guys we're feeding off each other. Hey, you're going to go win this game right here. Let's go win it right here. One play at a time. All these things. I think we're constantly talking and just kind of feeding off each other. And that's the best part about it.
It's not like lost his voice a little bit.
Yeah. No, he's been battling it throughout the week, I think. So he's it was going to be interesting throughout the game. There's a couple times where he got a couple voice cracks, but he did a good job. And obviously, like he's the best, man. So it was super fun. He called a great game and got us all ready to play.
I know you said like you want to win teammates over, and you're not concerned what you're proving to outside, but are you proving anything to yourself in this stretch?
I'm trying to constantly prove myself right as far as my own self-belief and hold myself to a high standard. And the ultimate goal is to win and come together as a team. And I feel like we've been able to do that. And how do we keep replicating it? So for me, that's my constant goal. Everything else that comes with it is part of it. And, I love playing with these guys. I feel like we could play a whole nother season right now. And, we got a really good opponent that we got to finish out.
It was a really good turnout for Saints fans, behind
the
bench today. What does that mean to you in a season where you're 5-10 to see that many fans?
Yeah, Who Dat Nation showed up for sure. It felt like it was equally as loud on third downs for some of them, and at their own home stadium. And that's awesome to see when you got people traveling like that. The fans just at our hotel, at the game early. They're active and. It's the best fan base in the country for sure. So it was really cool to be able to see that and get a win in front of those guys that travel and everybody. So appreciate the support, and obviously, we're going to go need it in Atlanta as well.
6 wins is one more than the Saints had last year. Does that mean anything to you to be able to improve on last year's record?
I think we're always trying to improve, and I wasn't here last year, and my whole goal is to do everything we can to win games and take advantage of those opportunities. And I think we got another really good one left.
How important is it, short term and long term, right? This season and in the future, to string wins together like this versus, let's say, when you guys went to the beginning of the season?
It's It's why you do what you do. It makes everybody, winning's the ultimate goal, and everything's more fun whenever you can capitalize off of that hard work that you put in. And how do you keep replicating that? And you come together as a team that way, and you understand that's the formula, and how do we keep doing that? And we want to be here and be a part of it, and be a part of New Orleans and the city. And we're having fun that way.
Are you able in the middle of the season to kind of step back and look at like what's okay, we've won 4 in a row. If I back for 80-yard games, you kind of have that tunnel vision to
just process oriented. You got a tunnel vision because you have to go through each rep, every single play. Tomorrow we're going to go in through treatment, watching film throughout the whole day. And I think that's the fun part about it, because as soon as you become complacent, and that's when it kind of bites you in the butt. And there was a lot of stuff. We weren't great today. We had to be a lot better. So you can't – that's the thing about, it's never as good or as bad as it seems. And we got to find a way to shore those things up. And I think that's the best part about getting to win and getting the team win, is that there's things to clean up and move forward for it.
Chris's game today, obviously he's going through the back thing, and just to see him kind of grit through and have such a big game.
Yeah. He's unbelievable, man. I think his greatest strength is his steadiness. He shows up every single day. He's battling through injuries. We're all battling through stuff, and just his ability to be dynamic regardless of the situation, showing up. It's just a credit to him, and I think we feed off of that for sure. So I'm super proud of him, kind of elevating our team that way.
What led to the 60-yard for
To Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran a great route. Had double moved him. We'd kind of thrown some quick game a little bit throughout the game. He ran a great route. Slipped him inside.
We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days.
Process. What does that tell you about your process? To only have that view.
Yeah, I think I got to be a little bit better. There's a couple misses that I feel like I could have shored up with my footwork wise, and can take advantage of some scramble opportunities. I haven't watched it yet though, but I think we got to be consistent, and that's my goal, is to kind of continue to be consistent that way. And like I said, we'll finish strong.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
And shout out to Tyler Shough. That's player number 3, man. And man, what could you say about his play today? Super efficient handling this business with the black and gold, over 1,700 yards in his young season. Player number 4, Chase Young. Big game for Chase. KT, where you at?
Man, they chipped me, went high. I owe Grando a couple steak dinners. He pushed the pocket. It don't work if we're not together. You know what I'm saying? He pushed the pocket. It's kind of, he went lower, I went high. He came right to me.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
Nah, it's funny. Mid play though, when I seen him, the ball was in the air, and for that split second, my dad used to tell me when I was a kid and I played at the end, take the ball out of his hand. And for that split second, it hit me, and I was like, man, the ball right there, I can take it. And so I came down on it, and I just took it, and that's all she wrote.
And did you see anyone? I mean, the guys are right behind you, but did you feel the guy chasing you? How did
I slowed down. That's why he kind of caught up to me. But if you see when I was sprinting, I was running.
It sounded like your teammates were keeping you humble, though, like the way you were carrying the ball.
Yeah, right.
What's the best compliment?
Man, they were so close, man. Everybody was like, "Hey, man, just praying, Chase, just hold the ball." I said, "Man, I done this before, man. I don't play offense." It's like, nah, definitely blessed, man. All glory to God, my teammates, to be able to make that play happen.
And career high in sacks for you. Just what is that?
So God, thank you. Everything I've been through myself, to be, back where I am right now. It's only God that can do that.
What did you make of Cam Ward's performance, and what changed for you guys to have more success against him in the second half?
Man, he baller, man. He's going to be a great quarterback in this league. He kind of, I ain't gonna lie, he got a Mahomes feel to him when he out there, being able to extend plays while still having his eyes down the field. He a phenomenal young quarterback, and he went number 1 for a reason.
just the end there, knowing that you guys need a stop and that you guys got that stop. Just what do you think of that for you guys?
Honestly, I had faith. I mean, it was more so like I knew we was going to get the stop because I know the guys behind me and beside me. I know how they built. I know how they. I know how they cut. I know Double D. He not slowing down. 9-4, he ain't slowing down. 9-6, he ain't slowing down. Number one, you see when he was late in the game, he flying around. DB strapping late in the game. Plastering. That's everything we practice, and it goes to Coach Staley, just being a real great coach, holding us accountable, always setting the standard, and it's paying off.
DeMario, after the Bucks game, mentioned y'all have been waiting all year for a moment where y'all could finish off a game, and obviously it went well there. Did that kind of pay off here? It seemed like after that final drive, you just sat down, it was exhausting, but what was your kind of review of how you handled that end of game situation? I
think we handled it the best way we could, man. We stopped them, and we found a way. And at the end of the day, all you can do is find a way. No matter how ugly it get, it's hard to win in this league, and we found a way to win.
How about kind of the faith you have on the other side of the ball? When you get a shootout like that, you go off the field and see Tyler step onto it. Has your confidence grown in him as this stretch has gone along?
I told you last time, man. He week by week, the confidence is building. And I'm really happy for him, proud of him, because I know what it feels like to come in and, it's eyes on you. We don't call it pressure because we had that our whole life. But the way he came in, didn't get to start week one, stayed on it. You can just see in practice how he was staying on it. He didn't wither away from the program, and, he earned it. He earned this. He deserved it.
Chase, you were around last year for Chris's season, Chris Olave's season. Saw how tough that was. He's out here now, 100 catches, 9 receiving touchdowns.
The
way he's bounced back from last year.
He a dog, man. There's certain things that you can't teach. There's certain things that start at home. And it's, that's how your parents raised you. And, he has a great foundation. I know his parents. He got big brothers. So, I know how he's built. And Lave, it's time to put some respect on his name for real, man. He out there doing what you do. That number one.
To string some wins together like this, obviously eliminated from the playoffs this year, but going forward, what does that mean to be able to do that as opposed to maybe where you guys started the season? Yeah, man, it feels good, man. At the end of the day, we're not in the playoffs or anything like that, but just to get this streak, we know that we're building. We know we have a great foundation, and we're excited, man. We're excited, man. God gives us another opportunity to do it again one more time, and we're gonna keep fighting.
Yeah, I know you guys said a lot throughout the season how tight knit this locker room is. Or Cam's podcast saying the same thing this week. Is that different than some of the other teams you've been in these kinds of situations where you're feeling at the end of the year like you're really honestly?
Yeah, it reminded me of my rookie year when I got to Washington. As a defense, because I think that year we finished top 5, and we was really like brothers out there. One guy make a play, we all really made a play, and that's how I'm feeling right now, man. It don't matter who make it, as long as we make it, we good. You know what I'm saying? That's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you.
Hey, shout out to Chase Young, man. Chase Young had a mighty game, a sack and a half. He had the strip sack for a touchdown. And speaking of big play, Chris Olave, catches, yards, touchdown, all career high.
How much was bothering you before this, and what did you have to do to get it ready to play?
Man, I'm hurting right now, but just a lot of treatment, man. Just trying to stay on top from night or day to night, from Friday to Saturday to Sunday. I had to get up early. I usually sleep in on game day, but I got here like 7:30 to try to get it right, and it worked out. I finished the game, and we came out with a win.
Chris, I know it's something you've been dealing with. So did Friday take you kind of by surprise since you had been managing it?
Yeah, it kind of did. I woke up on Friday morning. It kind of was hurting a little bit. I went into treatment, and then I didn't feel right, to be honest. So they told me to sit out for practice just for being cautious. And I always wanted to play, though. So just try to stay on top of the treatment all Friday, Saturday. And I'm grateful to be able to come out here and play today.
And you said that you've dealt with this since back to college, but I mean, is there anything this year that is exacerbated or?
Not really, man. It's just something that I got to stay on top of. A lot of core work, a lot of hips and stuff, but just something I got to stay on top of.
Well, especially since you're going through all that, is 100 a special number?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm super grateful, man. I gotta give all glory to God, my close people, my pops. They always believed in me, man, and they always talk positive to me from last year. So I'm super grateful to be able to reach that number.
Doing it on a 60-yarder too?
Huh?
Hitting that number on a 60.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially coming with a win, that means a lot. It was a great win. We fought back. We always stayed positive and knew we was gonna have a chance. So I'm glad we got the win.
Out of all the numbers, is playing 16 out of 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
Something like I know we talked to you last week about what you went through last year.
Right.
And now you're on track to play in every single game.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Means a lot, man. I think it's gonna be my first time in my NFL career playing 17. Means a lot, man. That's one of my goals, one of my main goals for this year is trying to play all 17. Playing through injuries, playing through all that. So I'm super grateful. Like I said, I got to give all glory to God to be in this position. And we just got to finish next week.
Is that why you push through to play? I mean, there's a scenario where it's late in the season,
Uh-huh.
your record is what it is. You could have easily.
Of course, man. Of course. And trying to get Tyler that rookie of the year, too.
You feel like you did?
I feel like he got a good chance. I don't know whoever. I think McMillan up there, but I don't know what he did today. But I feel like he had a great game today.
One catch, 5 yards.
Oh yeah, he should be at the top after this game. Yeah, he went crazy today. So
Would you make we've seen Kevin Austin on this team 4 times, up and down, to see him make that big play there.
Right. Man, he's a great dude, man. I'm just all credit to him. Just the way he shows up to work. He wasn't getting too many reps. He was on practice squad early in the year. Getting released, coming back, getting released, coming back. It's all credit to him, man. When his moment came, he was ready. When his number was called, he was ready. He had a big touchdown for us today. Even early in the game, he had a big play. And like I said, it's all credit to him. And Pettis, too. He had a great game. Even with the fumble, I feel like he had a great game.
Chris, you said you guys feel like you're never out of a game. I mean, you've been around for some teams that didn't have that. When did that develop this year? And what led to it?
I think it's just the guys in the locker room, man. It's the guys in the locker room, the older guys, the Mario, Cam. They're such great leaders. And we got a great leader at quarterback, too. And Kellen, he kind of changed the locker room around, changed the culture around. I feel like it's only up from here, really. I know we 6-10 right now, but I'm super proud of us fighting back, and I can't wait for the future.
What does a day like today tell you about Tyler, or just also the stretch he's having, but specifically when you guys are getting to a shootout and you need a response?
Man, when the moment comes, you got to make a play, and he's done that every single time. He delivered every single time this year, and yeah, it's not really much to say. I feel like when the opportunity presents itself, he's making the play every time. So you can't really teach that. He's a winner, what I've seen. So I can't wait to build around this. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the future.
And when you guys get able to get, like when Estime's able to kind of put up the ground game in the second half, did that just kind of open up things for you all?
Man, he's been great since he got here. I know he got here, I think, like last month, but ever since he got here, I feel like every game he's making huge plays for us. That touchdown he had was huge for us. We was up 1, and we needed to score. So I feel like the run game, we were struggling in the first half. We didn't really have no run game in the first half, but the second half he breaking runs, 10-yard runs, 9-yard runs, kind of helped Kellen out with the play calling a lot. So he's been great for us.
And after seeing the fumble recovery for touchdowns, Chase gonna have any offensive plays?
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. He been balling all year. His energy's great. He's another leader that in the locker room. He's a hell of a player, man. I went to college with him. I seen it all in college, so I'm super glad he's having a breakout year.
One of the guys getting on him for the ball security there.
Oh no. Oh no. I feel like he big, so I don't think he's gonna let go of that ball. And he trying to score it too. So like I said, I'm super proud of him, and I'm grateful he's on our team.
How's the playoff plans? Watch party?
Nah, man. I'm finna be at the crib. Hopefully we get that dub, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Wide receiver Chris Olave brought it up, so let's go there. Are you?
All right, that seemed to be all of them. I don't believe it. That's crazy work. If that's everybody, man. I was expecting a lot more than that, but obviously, we'll see what they do. But Pops, coming back to you, man. You heard from Chris Olave, man, and everything that they were saying. What's your thoughts on what was said about Tyler Shough? What was said about what Shough said? What Chase Young said about Shough? He mentioned in comparison Mahomes. I mean that's something new. What do you think about that?
That's big. That's a big comparison. I mean, the young man showing it to us what he's doing on the field with his play on the field. He knows how to seemingly to go to the right reads, making the right reads right now, getting the ball out very quickly. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's got good people, like good wide receivers, got clutch wide receivers around him, people who can catch the football, and he got people who can get he can get the football out. I think it's a, we got to see what happens next year, but he's following along the tracks of what Mahomes did. Mahomes is as a quarterback. He hasn't thrown he didn't throw an interception this year. I mean, it's just amazing. He's like Olave. Yeah, he is putting up some good numbers. I tell you what, I'm impressed with this Saints team. I really am. The defense just played out lights out today. I mean, they gave up a couple of touchdowns, yes, but they came back up when it really got down to time to shut this team down and take. We did them like we did Carolina. This time we gonna take this from y'all. We telling you we gonna take this game from you, and they did just that.
Yeah, you're not kidding, Pops. The Saints put on a show in the second half of this game, man, and scored 24 points, shutting the door on the Titans, who scored 6 points, and literally changing the dynamic. I was doing some research while the guys was at the press conference, and I asked, I was searching to see when the last time the Saints won 4 in the games prior to today, and that goes all the way back to their 2020 season.
Wow.
Back 2020, the last time the Saints did it.
Won 4 games in a row.
9 games, and that clinched the NFC South, made the playoffs. 2018 was 10 games, the second longest streak in franchise history. It was a lot of them, fam. 4, it went back, but the last time was 9 games back in 2020 when they clinched the NFC South and made the playoffs. So it's been a while since we've seen large winning streaks like this, and it's just so very positive, Pops. But like I said, a lot of players we know about Chris Olave, him having a big year, 92 catches. Over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 11.3. Let's see what Kellen Moore. This was the press conference for the.
That's about as good of a win as we've had this year, guys. Okay, that's awesome. Because the first half was not us at all. Okay, the standard wasn't met. Okay, first half wasn't good enough. Okay, but the way we responded and just kept responding each and every opportunity we had the whole second half, guys, that was really, really special. Congratulations, awesome, guys. All right, let's go through a few of these. I'm going to get in trouble for all the game balls I'm giving out, but why not? Okay, so here we go. Charlie, 56 and 57. All right, offense. Okay. Kevin Austin, 4 catches. Let's go, Estime, 98 yards. 8 catches for 119 yards, a touchdown, 100 on the year now. Chris Olave. 22 for 27, 2 touchdowns. All right, 4 PBUs. Alante Taylor. That's right. Another sack, another game, another sack. Cam Jordan. All right, a sack and a half and a touchdown. Last one, guys, half a sack, 6 total tackles, now 137 on the year. Career best at year 14, Demario Victory Monday, see you Wednesday,
Come on, man. Hey, listen, man. Listen, man. I might get a little emotional with this right here, bro, because there's no greater moment than what you feel right now, because we won that as a team. We won that as a team. That's what this game is always about, bro. It ain't about accolades. It ain't about individual accomplishments. It's about a team coming together. Whether you're at the end where everybody's goal is to win the Super Bowl, to cross that finish line together as a team. But even in resiliency, bro, even in adversity, you can't tell me what we feel ain't just as special as somewhere else, bro. Sure. That's what it's about. Sure. Hey, let's keep it going. Sure. We got to finish it next week. Y'all know what time it is. Family LB, family L3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I thought he was going to give a longer speech than that, but he cut it short.
Yeah, he was tired. Pops saying, you can see he ain't jumping the shower or nothing. That was one for that, man. But I was surprised that we didn't see, none of the Saints or whatnot. Pops, I was surprised we didn't see more for this game. But I guess they want to try to keep it short, man, with the team. But it was a hard-fought win in Titan land, man. We was able to get the victory. We got one more game coming up against Atlanta. We'll preview it. But, Pops, give me your last thoughts on this on what you thought about the Saints win over the Titans today.
They're playing fun football again. They're not making the silly mistakes that they had a couple of plays, a couple of penalties on the offensive line, but they didn't hurt the drive. Tyler is executed. It all begins with perfectly good execution, and the team executed what they needed, and they stopped that attempted touchdown drive by the Titans on that last play. I don't know what was going around, but they had a lot of big bellies tumbling around out there trying to get that football downfield, and the Saints was able to stop it. So, they're like they picking up. They're in stride right now. We just got to finish the job, get Atlanta, and then we'll be about our high spirits, and we'll hit the ground running with these. We got the guys. I don't know how many players we're going to lose, how many we're going to bring in. But with the way they're playing right now, with Tyler as our starter, I think they have a great chance of having a great season next year.
Absolutely, Pops. I mean, they're playing through Tyler Shough. And you see everything's improved. And people ask me the question, Q, you think we'd have won, we would have been in playoff shape if we'd have started Tyler Shough early? And I would say the same thing. I think we would have won a game more than what we did before. But you got to remember what happened with the Saints early in the year. He wasn't ready to go, and he benefited by sitting down those games.
Yes,
he did, holding that clipboard, practicing, and when he finally got an opportunity to step in there and play, he was ready. Imagine the opposite effect, that if you had put him in too early and something negative would have happened. We've seen the opposite happen. I think the Saints handled it as perfectly as they possibly could.
Right.
And I think that now that not only is Shough learning, but Kellen Moore is learning along with him. The communication between Kellen Moore and Chuck Norris is doing, they're getting better as a unit moving forward, because a lot of the plays that you've seen early in the year that didn't make sense, they'd have gotten got away from a lot of those plays. You see Tyler Shough operating more confident, because a lot of these other plays they're running, that he's confident running these plays. So they've done enough where he's familiar with and has a certain amount of plays that he favorites.
Yeah.
And as the starting quarterback, the offensive coordinator and the head coach will work with the quarterback, to make sure whatever plays that he have, they'll make sure he's as comfortable as they possibly can. And you're seeing the benefit of them wrapping the offense around Tyler Shough, getting vertical and going downfield. In the first half, you've seen we weren't getting vertical in that game, and then all of a sudden you've seen shocks to Chris Olave, you've seen balls getting thrown down the field to Juwan Johnson. So every now and again, Kellen will kind of regress with this east-west stuff. And then when they get north to south, you see the explosion, you see everything lights up. Tyler Shough, 6'5". He got a gun for an arm. He's very athletic. You obviously can look at his game and see he loves throwing the ball up the field, pushing the ball down the field, and he does it well. The guy, Pops, he throws one of the meanest bullets you can see out there, man. So he's comfortable. And now, and that's with a makeshift offensive line. That's with our 4th to 5th string running backs behind him. Shout out to Chris Olave with all he done. He's having an excellent year. He's looking for his bag. Juwan Johnson has elevated, hasn't dropped anything the last couple of games. He's been stellar. Yeah. And that's what we expect when we pay our big money players. They stepping up. So, like I said, I think they're heading in the right direction. As long as they could keep doing this, protecting Tyler Shough, get him a running attack, and allow him to operate plays where they get vertical at times. Now he likes throwing the up and outs to Chris Olave toward the sideline. He does those really well. But when we get vertical and attack downfield, man, it's a work of art. Like we got down the quick in the second half to get that last score to kind of game away from them. So, like I said, the Saints are an offense that can get up and down the field pretty fast as long as they keep those principles. So everybody has improved than what they were early in the year. Possible guys were dropping balls, guys were blowing blocks, guys wasn't making tackles, guys would drop, all this kind of stuff. And a lot of that is completely, tatered off, and guys have gotten familiar with what they need to do. Now, this is what we build on going into the future. So it's interesting, Pops. You want to add to that?
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, it seemed like a much different team the second half of the season than the first half. See what I'm saying? It's two total different teams here. They got him. They got the goal. Got the offense going. They got the defense going. I mean, that's the first time this year the defense scored, and it was just good. It was just wonderful how the guy took that ball right out of the quarterback's hand and turned it into a touchdown. Went on downfield with he sacked him. Then said, "Give me that ball." Then he ran down and he took it from him and scored a touchdown. Man, I love it. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna deal with Atlanta next week. I don't know how Atlanta did today, but we're looking forward to getting to take them and close our season. That's great. We close out with a winning season.
Yeah, we close out with 5 straight wins, which will make us 7-10, which carries their momentum into the future. And this is the Atlanta matchup. Atlanta's currently on a 2-game winning streak. Their next game is Monday night against the Rams. Okay. So that's a tough matchup for the Rams to go as Saint Falcons at the Rams. So for this particular game, let me get this one on screen. Then we'll go to the NFL scores. Okay. 55.6% Pops the matchup indicators, given the Falcons against the Saints. Remember, the Falcons are without Michael Penix. He's on IR. They have Kirk Cousins back there. Kirk Cousins played in the first game against us. They had success. The Saints was not the same team. It wasn't much of a game. The Saints wasn't dialed in. It'll be a different game against the Atlanta Falcons, no doubt about it. So you can see what Shuck's numbers is. AK-41 is still not on the IR list. He's listed as out, and hopefully, I think they're trying to hope that he plays this last game. We'll see what that is. But Olave's having a great year. Cam Jordan got another sack today, and Demario Davis. So some of our senior members are really being productive against lineup against Bijan Robinson, who has over 1,200 yards rushing. We'll see him. Kyle Pitts has 80 tackles, 80 catches rather, for 854 yards. James Pierce Jr., who we talked about, this guy is amazing, 8.5 sacks for him. And our guy Ellis is there as well with 98 tackles leading the team. So, like I said, we'll see where it goes. We know that Drake London has that PCL issue. They said he possibly could return for the game against the Saints. We'll see how all that goes because they know they will need him. But yes, this is the last 5 games. Saints are 5-1, really supposed to be 5-0 over the last 5 games. Remember, Chris Olave dropped a touchdown ball toward the back end of the Dolphins game, which would have gave the Saints the win. We would have had 5 straight right here, and the Saints would have been sitting up here instead of 6-10. We would have been sitting up here at 7-9 with a chance to go 8-9 on the season. But it's all good. A couple of games we could have won, but man, the light really went on. Wins against Tampa, wins against Carolina, sweeping them, beating the Jets, and beating the Tennessee Titans. The Saints are not a Jets. They're not a Titan team. These are teams that are not ready, still lacking something. You can see the Falcons beating Tampa Bay, who everybody's beating Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay lost today as well. They lost Arizona. They were able to beat Arizona, and now they're trying to get a victory against the Rams on Monday night. The Saints are going to split with them. I know Kellen Moore is going to teach them that. I know Cam Jordan and Demario Davis and all the veteran Saints are going to make sure that the Saints come prepared for this and make them understand that we are not going to be swept by the Atlanta Falcons. That's just something that we won't allow to be done. So they're going to play with everything at the end of the season.
They have to be extra because Kirk Cousins he's a smart quarterback. So he'll know where to go with the football. So they got to get heat on him. He ain't going to do too much scrambling, but he gets the ball out quick, and then he gets the ball. He knows where he's going with the ball. So the Saints going to have to handle business. You got the real defense. Really, it's going to be a test for the defense against them. And we just got to remember, they play good against us. They played good against us the first time, but like this is a different era. It's a different team that they faced last game when we played them. When they played us here in the Dome, different team. When we're playing them down there. And I tell you what, I'm thinking I'm gonna give you my prediction. I believe they're gonna win that game down there with Atlanta. But the number one key issue for the Saints is stopping Bijan Robinson and also stopping Kirk Cousins from passing them to death, because they've got fine, quick, fast wide receivers that he can go to, and he's accurate. He's accurate when he throws the football most of the time. So we got to fight on our hands with them. But it's going to be a measure stick for us as the new season come in if we can go down there and get a victory.
All right. Shout out to GM Mickey Loomis, the GOAT, is in the chat. Says the great thing about this, I have all these players on rookie contracts. I built them young, fun, and ready to run. All right. Give me my flowers, fam. I found Shough. Mickey, you got a young pitcher there, brother. You need to get a newer pitcher of you with all that salt and pepper in your damn head, Mickey. But shout out to Mickey Loomis, man. Hey, man, Mickey, I still think Mickey is past his prime, man. We need to see young leadership at the general manager position. Mickey can stay for VP. I'm not mad about that, but I still think that we need younger leadership at the general manager position. I think Kai Hartley should be the guy that Mickey doesn't need 2 jobs. So anyway, but yeah, Pops, I think it's pretty cool to watch all this happen. I think the Saints, you made the call. You think the Saints win. I think the Saints, I know the Saints going to beat the Falcons the second time around. We did not show up the first time.
Right.
We weren't even dialed into the game this time around. It is the last game, and the team wants to finish on a winning streak. Also, the fact that the Falcons, you will not allow, the Saints won't allow the Falcons to sweep them on the season. So that sets up a real monster affair right there. In the Georgia Dome, and the Falcons are really struggling right. They're 2-game winning streak. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with Miami. I won't think they won't get the win because anybody could lose at any given time. But I still like my Saints in the season finale. They're not going to let the Falcons sweep them, man. Let's just be honest.
I hope not. I mean, because like I say, they got the ability, they got They got, in other words, momentum is on their side, so they can finish out. Split with we split with Atlanta, we split with Tampa, and we swept Carolina. That's a decent record. And we can do the same with that last game, go out a winner. And I know they want to go out a winner too. So we are going to be head against head to see is the bird against the flower, you know. And then we're going to see who comes out.
Yeah,
I see on your indicator that they got Atlanta as a slight favorite over us. But we should be able to nullify that edge, especially we can get to the key to it is getting to Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins is he's an outstanding quarterback when he's playing good, hard to stop him. So we got to keep pressure and heat on him. You can't just let him, stand back there and pick your secondary apart, because he's got the skills to do that.
Right. Yeah, he's a statue, but that's the thing about him. You got to get to him. You got to rattle and knock him around. You can't allow Kirk Cousins to hurt you and stand back there and find Kyle Pitts to allow them to access to use Bijan Robinson as well as Tyler Edjuri. He's another guy that works in connection with him. And we got to just I don't think Drake London. I think they're trying to make sure Drake London's good for the matchup, but regardless or not, we can't have the Falcons, whatever they're throwing at us from offensive, defensive standpoint, we got to come away with the victory. We can't allow the Falcons to sweep us on the year. That's just the bottom line, man. So we got to handle that business. All right. So let's pivot on into the NFL scores for today, family. At halftime, the Giants are actually beating somebody. They're beating the Raiders right now, 17-3 at halftime. Jackson Dart, 15-20 for 134 yards. Giants handling up on the Raiders. Raiders looking pretty rough right now. The Eagles right now before halftime are up on the Bills 10-0 and have the ball and are driving. Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. That's going to be an interesting game there. The Bears play tonight at 7:20, and of course some of the other games. Cardinals fell to the Bengals 37-14. Joe Burrow 24-31 for 300 yards. He had 2 touchdowns in the game. The Browns beat the Steelers. How about that for a surprise? The Browns topped the Steelers 13-6. Shedeur Sanders was 17-23 for 186. He had a touchdown as well as the Browns surprised the Steelers in Cleveland. Yeah. We know about the Saints come behind win over the Titans. The Jags defeated the Colts 23-17. Trevor Lawrence 22 of 37 for 263 yards and an interception. The Jags still get the victory by 6. The NFC South battle is going to come down to the head-to-head matchup between the Buccaneers and Seattle. Buccaneers and the Panthers. These guys can't seem to get wins opposed to going at each other, right? The Buccaneers are not. I'm gonna have to pick the Buccaneers to lose the game against the Panthers next week. But the NFC South comes down to next week head-to-head matchup against the Bucs and the Panthers. Dolphins beat them 20-17 to win that game. The Patriots got a big win over the Jets 42-10. Drake May threw 5 touchdowns in this game against the Jets defense. Seattle, no problem with Carolina, 27-10. Sam Darnold, 18-27. Had 147 yards in the score. So Carolina falls to 8-8. Tampa Bay's now 7-9. And it's going to come down to a head-to-head action between these two teams for the NFC South crown. So we'll see. And, of course, the Thursday games, Cowboys defeated the Commanders 30-23. Lions lost to the Vikings 23-10. That hurts. Sean Payton gets 13 wins on the year, 20-13. Against the Chiefs, the Texans took care of business yesterday against the Chargers, 20-16. Ravens surprised the Packers, 41-24 behind Derrick Henry, 216 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns in the matchup. So there you go on what happened today in the NFL as well. So that's the scoreboard, as you know. Pops is going to be interesting going forward, man. But yeah, 1 game remaining on the rest of the season for the black and gold. It's the Atlanta Falcons, man. The last regular season dialed up for this upcoming week as the regular season is almost over with, Pops. So, man, we almost there, man. So overall thoughts and surprises so far at this point, with 1 game remaining in the season, people that you're really surprised by, things that you've seen about the Saints that you like.
I liked the way the defense, Chase Young was running around. He was making tackles. He had a sack. He had a forced fumble and a touchdown. I like the way the defense is playing inspired football. I think we're going to see more of that next week in the Georgia Dome, because let me tell you, that stadium, we play well in that stadium, just like the Falcons play well in our stadium. So it's almost like a home game. There'll be a lot of Saints fans going up there to watch the game. If we can, our biggest main concern is stopping Bijan Robinson and also Algieri. And then Kirk Cousins kind of put some limitation on where he throw and how he throws the football, because he's got, if you leave him standing back there in that pocket, he's going to eat you alive. So we have to make sure we put pressure on him. Keep pressure on him. And then if we control him, I think we have a shot. We got a quarterback that's not afraid to attack the other team's secondary and make them play defense. You're not going to win the football if you can't run it too well. And I think we've got a little young running back now that can maybe make some yardage against this team. So we're gonna see how that's gonna go. Like I said, I'm pulling for the Saints to win it. I don't know if they can or not, but I'm gonna give them a shot to win it and close the season on a winning note.
Yeah, I think they win. I think we go out with a 5-game winning streak. I think we finish at 7-10. I think that'll be purposeful going into the off season with a winning streak, because it just makes this off season has such a great energy to it. Knowing who your future quarterback is going to be, knowing that your head coach, your rookie head coach, and your quarterback on the same page. Knowing that, hey, we got to get an offensive lineman. We got to get some help on the O-line to kind of hold at that left guard position. Maybe some help at the tight end position, fortifying the running back position, getting some help in the defensive line, another edge rusher, some help at the some help in the secondary. And you never can go wrong with getting another athletic linebacker for the defense as well. So the Saints have several picks going forward, and man, listen, the way they drafted this past season under Kellen Moore took all 9 picks and added them to the team. And at some form of capacity, those players have played actively to help the Saints win games. So, I mean, the future is bright in that regard for the Saints headed. If we can build on this, and that's the big thing, building on what you've gathered so far is the key to success in the future. If we do that, man, things could shift pretty well.
Yeah. Like I say, it look like this coaching staff been hitting on their draft picks. Those guys are contributing, and they also contributed late on in the season toward the end of these games. Toward the end of this game. I'm looking forward to an exciting game. Like I said, our issue is we gotta keep Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins has always beat us. He beat the Saints most of the time, and he does it because he's such a smart quarterback. So we've got to get pressure on him, get him, throw him off his stride a little bit. Maybe have to bump him a little bit, get him off the stride, because he's not a running quarterback. So they'll have a chance to maybe have to get some pressure on him and do something. They can put some pressure in the heat on him. And you got a defense now that's nowhere near the first time Falcons played the Saints.
Yeah, it ain't the same. It's still going to be a good game, to be honest with you, because it's a rivalry game. Like I said, we haven't had no intensity, no energy for the game. The Saints were in a different mental and spiritual space. You can see during that game, they didn't show up at all for the game. But I know for a fact the Saints are not going to allow this to happen with them. Again, they're going to dig in and split series. It kind of will steal a little luster from the season if they allow the Falcons to sweep them, which I'm sincerely hoping that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying, Pops? I'm trying to figure out when the last time that happened.
I think not too long ago they beat them, but that was in the transition years after Breeze had left, and they might have been a chance where they split with them. They lost both games to the Falcons, but it's been a while ago, a minute ago, a couple of seasons back, they let them. I think they did it. I think the series is now one. Atlanta's up by 1, so we've been kind of running neck and neck. They went up by 1 when they beat us the first time. So it's our turn. Once we get them down, if we can beat them, then it'll be almost even, statistically even. The wins and losses between these two teams.
Yeah, I looked it up right quick. The last time that happened with the Saints, it doesn't happen. It rarely happens.
Right.
But the last time that happened with the Falcons sweeping the Saints in a single season was back in 2016. That was the year when the Falcons went on to reach the Super Bowl that season. Falcons also swept the season series in 2014, which was the first time they had done that since 2005.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, the Saints have largely dominated the series, especially since 2006, sweeping the Falcons multiple times, including most recently back in 2022. So we've been the standard of just beating the Falcons down into the ground. So they don't So with that being said, we know that is why I'm going to say that the Saints is going to handle up against the Falcons and take care of business, man. Ain't no sweeping going on over here.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting, Pops, how we finish the day against that. Yeah, the standings. Who do you think happens with the Carolina series? Who wins Carolina or Tampa for the NFC South? Who you think?
Well, Tampa didn't help them to lose today.
Nope.
And they're going to be playing for the playoff life. Okay, they're gonna be playing for the playoff life because so they're gonna be ready to play. I promise you.
Yeah, I got Carolina. I think Carolina's going to win the NFC South. I think Tampa Bay. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now. They haven't done pretty much anything but blame. They hadn't done anything except for create a bunch of issues they haven't been able to figure out. They started fast in the season and they burned out. That's the bottom line. That's why it's a danger in starting too hot, because they were ripping and rolling. Now all of a sudden they completely burned out. They're falling. 4 straight losses. They're 7-9. Carolina's 8-8. Carolina's feeling pretty good with the matchup next week. Will ultimately decide them getting into the playoffs, which is a huge success story for the Carolina Panthers, who just a couple years ago were one of the worst teams in the NFL from a record standpoint, and they have clawed and fought their way into a potential NFC South win, which is very promising for the Carolina, because the Carolina football, Pops, with the Saints and Carolina and all these battles with our young quarterbacks will be fun in the future. But yeah, I got Carolina in this one. I also think that the Saints, like I said, I think the Saints beat out Atlanta. I think Atlanta loses Monday against the Rams, and then we'll finish them off next week. So let's see, they're 6-9. They lose, they'll be 6-10, same as us. Next week we beat them, we'll be 7-10. They will be. I think that's right. I'm gonna see. They're 6-9 right now. So a loss today makes them 6-10. A loss next week makes them 7-10. So they'll finish about the same. But I think what defies the teams are the division record, right? Which the Saints have the better division record. I think Carolina's 3-2, Saints are 3-2 record. We beat Atlanta. That makes us 4-2. Yeah. So you would leapfrog Atlanta, and they will be in the cellar. They would be in the cellar, and Tampa, matter of fact, will finish 7-10 too if Carolina beats them. So if it goes according to
because they lost a key game that they couldn't win. But Carolina is playing excellent football right now. They're playing tough football, and they playing winning football.
They lost today. Both of them lost. I mean, both teams lost. That's the problem, Pops. Nobody could do enough outside to win. But be that as it may, man, we could have a situation like one of the family members mentioned, that all 3 of the teams in the NFC South outside of Carolina could ultimately finish with a 7-10 record. That means Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and New Orleans. So when that's all done and who's stacked up, which one of those teams will then, because we split with Tampa, we'll split with Atlanta. So which team? I think we will have the better of the division records between the two, which means the Saints should climbed to 2, tied for 2 with these teams, but the division records the Saints have should propel them up over the top of them. We'll see how it all works. But in the end, that would be so funny, man, that Atlanta finishes in the cellar, and so is Tampa Bay and all this kind of stuff. Just amazing how the team's going, and it sets up a wild and wacky off season, which goes to show, regardless of where we fall in the draft, we're going to get our players. Just like we got our players this year, we're going to get our players in the upcoming year. And that's the fun part about it, getting to work. Saints do their work really in the middle rounds and so on moving forward. So it's a lot. It makes a very interesting off season, man. But still in all, we got 1 game left on the season. So with that being said, man, listen, I appreciate y'all for joining the stream. Y'all feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for a Saints win. Pop's last thoughts before we close out, man.
Go Saints. We want to win this game. We don't want to let the Falcons beat us. That's the incentive for us to work, get our work done, and get prepared to hand them the agony of defeat in their own stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's absolutely right, man. Knock off the Falcons, man. Split with them and finish the season strong. 5-game winning streak, 7-10, strong off season impending. With that being said, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, fam. And I'm holler at you on the Monday Report. Much love, peace, and with that to you.
Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that.